The Gainsborough Trail Meadow Walk begins on the edge of Sudbury town centre, next to the Kingfisher Leisure Centre. The opening stretch follows the bed of the old railway line before turning off across the Water Meadows to the Mill Hotel. After crossing another section of meadow to Brundon Mill, the railway is rejoined and followed back to the start of the walk. The Gainsborough Trail is a lovely short route around the area that inspired the great painter Thomas Gainsborough, who lived between 1727 and 1788. Thomas Gainsborough was born and educated in Sudbury and frequently visited the area covered on this walk, and for those interested in finding out more, Sudbury is home to the Thomas Gainsborough Museum. The opening stretch of the walk follows the bed of the old Sudbury to Haverhill railway line, which opened in 1865 and closed just over 100 years later in 1967. The first crossing of the River Stour takes in a view of the Quay Theatre. The building was originally a large granary store for the River Stour Navigation Company and dates back to 1791 and has now been converted into a superb little theatre and given a Grade 2 listing. Continuing to the next bridge over the River Stour, there is a view across the waters to the Church of All Saints, dating back to the 14th century. The next railway bridge heads over the busy A131 and also marks the point where the route heads off the railway path and heads down past a pumping station and into the Water Meadows. A crossing of the river takes you on a straight path to the Mill Hotel, a famous building and a must-see for those visiting Sudbury. The Mill Hotel and restaurant dates back to the 17th century and offers visitors superb dining overlooking the Water Meadows. Just as you cross the River Stour once again, take a look down to the river and you may notice a half-circle section of riverbank. This is the old Victorian community swimming pool and clearly no longer in use. After crossing a series of meadows, the route arrives at Brundon, with its bridge over the River Stour and nearby mill. The mill, now converted into a house, dates back to the 18th century and given a Grade 2 listing. Just beyond Brundon, the route passes some fields to rejoin the old railway track bed and turns left, heading straight back to the start of the walk. Along here there are a series of brick bridges over the railway, creating some points of interest along the walk back until the path arrives back at the Kingfisher Leisure Centre.